community has been lost. And it's time to refocus back to the things that needs to strengthen us, to build us up. The organization is primarily made of white people. We have an advisor, Pastor Paul Oakley, in Waynesboro with the Universalist Unitarian Church. Has been with me since day one when I started this journey. His church has been very, very supportive. Whether it's by resources, whether it's by money, whether it's by time, whether it's by food, whatever it is, they are always there. In a matter of a couple months, we created a RISE camp called the Kings and Queens Reading and Writing Camp, where we served 23 students in Waynesboro for 3 months. And what we saw when they came in is a lack of confidence. Wasn't that they couldn't read, wasn't that they couldn't do math, wasn't that they couldn't verbally speak or they couldn't write. We had excellent writers. They lacked confidence because they had been so beaten down for years. And whether people want to admit it or not, our educational system is not designed for black folk. That's just the reality of it. But it's what we have. And so how do we work within the system in which we have? And how do we bridge the gap and work with administrators to strengthen what we need to do? We live and we breathe, live and we breathe, and we live and we breathe this all day. When they walked out as kings and queens. They had confidence they never had before, just from investing time. We had about 25 volunteers from Waynesboro, Stanton, Augusta County. They came in and worked with the kids 3 times a week. We took them to Richmond, to the Capitol. They had a tour of the Capitol. I was so proud of the kids when the curators would ask questions. Our children had the answers and said them boldly. I had children that I took to the YMCA in Waynesboro. I had 11 or 13 children with me. Only 2 knew that it was a YMCA in Waynesboro. Only 2 had been inside of it. These are the things that when you talk about what can I do and how can I change and how can I fix, those are the things that change the lives of young people, that change their families. I talk to those kids' parents weekly, some of them daily, about the challenges that they may be having in the school. This is the ministry and the mission that is needed in our community. We say that the political process should not be in the church. Of course it should be at the church. You all know that the civil rights movement, the civil rights laws that we have today came through the church. It came through the church. We're not telling you to tell people to vote for. We're telling you that you have got to use your voice to talk to your congregations and your members. Get people registered to vote. You sang a song about the incarcerated. You read what are you doing for the incarcerated people in your community? We keep building prisons and jails to house more black lives, but we'll send millions of dollars to Africa. When do we accept responsibility within our own community? When do we ignite change within our own community? RISE can't run without money. But we do believe God is going to make every provision for us that we need. because he's already done it. Who in 3 months has had a camp for 23 kids? We have organized and built Rise and actually changed within the community that we serve in 3 months. Can you imagine if I doubled who I had in Rise, what we could change? Imagine if I doubled how much money I got to run that camp that cost almost $8,000. Do y'all know how much money we started out with when we decided we was going? Zero. Sharon and I hustled. We went to business owners. We went to personal people. We went to churches. We went to everybody. And we raised that money so that we could give to this community. So what I ask you is that, how can you help Rise? One thing is, and I was asked just this morning, to expand Rise to staff. We have every intention of expanding Rise. We've already been invited to expand Rise to Richmond and expand Rise into the Tidewater area. We've been given 2 offices completely free to Rise, in Richmond and one in Newport News. In 2019, we intend to expand. Because what we do is serious. What we do is intentional. We don't shy away anyone that comes to work in Rise. We don't shy away anyone who wants to come be a part of Rise. But we cannot forget the mission of what Rise is. Because we have constantly been put on the back burner by every other issue that happens in America. And we are in a state of crisis in the Black community. We have been for a long time, but it has heightened because of social media. It has heightened, and it's time for us, and I'm talking to Black people, it's time for us to create the change and direct the change that needs to happen within the community. I tell people all the time, you can help, but Black people got to lead this change. We got to lead the charge within this community for us. And so we just did, and just overwhelmingly, we did a t-shirt drive because we want t-shirts for an event we're going to. We thought maybe we get 10 or 15 t-shirts, so 35 t-shirts. And I had to cut it off yesterday in order for the people to print the t-shirts. That's how much support we have. I have support all over the country. I graduated from JMU. I'm still connected to the Alumni Association. They are pouring money into Rise because they see it's true, it's real. So we have monthly meetings. State of the Black Community happens on the 3rd Fridays of the month in Waynesboro. We have a Bridging the Gap, and that's a panel discussion where we bring in experts to talk about issues. Our last one was on health. We had Dr. Sam Hofstetter. He is on City Council in Waynesboro now, was just elected. He came in, and some nurses, and my beautiful mother was on the panel. My mother has been on dialysis going on 19 years. She looked better than me. And so she talked about her diet and how she committed to life, to live. Because we wanted real stories. We wanted people to see a real life story. She is a phenom to University of Virginia Hospital. She is their model patient. Any new patients that come in, they see Miss Carolyn because of her commitment, her dedication. They told her she wouldn't live no longer than 8 to 10 years on dialysis. My mother probably can live about another 20 years. So she's 71 years old. So those are the type of things that we bring to the community. And so then we've had The Bridging the Gap, which started, was the third Saturdays of the month. We have communication, we have dialogue, workshops. I did a workshop on the root of racism, a powerful workshop. I had to put the people out. It went on for 4 hours, supposed to be 2. I had to put the people out. I had to walk out in order for them to leave, because it was a powerful, powerful workshop. It's not comfortable. Don't think it's comfortable. It's not. It's very uncomfortable. If you're comfortable, it's not being done right. It's not being done right. So it's very uncomfortable. We still have the kids that we follow through the school. We have a debate coming up September the 21st with Jennifer Lewis and Ben Klein in Waynesboro. We're going into fundraising mode for the rest of the fall. We've got some events that are coming up. We need sponsors. We need support. We do have a RISE office now. I took that, and I'm proud of it. Who in 3 months to start an organization and got an office as well, and a presence in the community in that fix. And I'm going to tell you, Sharon did that office by herself. I didn't have a hand in it. I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know any colors, anything. She did it all by herself. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a small space, but it's the war room. And so we go in and we strategize about RISE and the next steps. And so there's so many ways to give back right here to change the human condition of people within your own community. And it's by connecting with organizations such as RISE. It's connecting with the folks that's doing the work. As my mama said, I'll give y'all a donation because I'm too old to go on the battle with you. So I'll give you a donation. But there's something for everybody to do, whether it's reading, whether it's making sandwiches, whether in the camp people came in and cleaned up the room, wiping down the tables, or whatever the case was. Just listen to the kids read aloud. I mean, there's something for everyone to do. And if we all put in our mind, we're going to show some love one to another, we can change the human condition of those that's here.